The warning assembly. The great hall was silent. 10,000 aliens sat in their seats. They came from every corner of the galaxy. Some had blue skin, some had 4 arms, some had no eyes at all. But today, they all shared one thing: fear. At the center of the hall stood an old alien. His name was Zorath. He was a Vexar. Once, the Vexar were the most powerful species in the galaxy. Once they ruled 200 planets. Once they feared nothing, but that was long ago. Now Zorath was old. His grey skin was covered with burn scars. His left arm was missing. His eyes were tired, so very tired. He had seen things, terrible things, things that still visited him in his nightmares. Today, he had come to deliver a warning. "You want to attack Earth?" Zorath asked. His voice was weak but steady. "You want to enslave the humans?" The young generals in the front row nodded. They were excited. They had new ships, new weapons. They thought they were ready. Zorath laughed, but it was not a happy laugh. It was the laugh of a broken man, a man who had lost everything. "I said those same words," Zorath whispered. 400 years ago. I stood where you are standing now. I was young, I was proud, I was foolish." He touched the scars on his face. "Look at me now. Look at what the humans did to me. Look at what remains of my empire." The hall was completely silent. No one moved, no one breathed. Zorath walked slowly to the center of the stage. Each step seemed painful. Each step carried the weight of memories. "The Vexar Empire lasted for 10,000 years, he said. "We conquered 200 planets. We destroyed 15 species. The galaxy trembled when they heard our name." He paused. His old eyes filled with tears. "And then we found Earth, a small blue planet, tiny, weak. The humans had just started traveling to space. They were like children, easy targets, easy victory." Zorath's voice became harder. "That is what I thought. That is what my emperor thought. That is what 50 million Vexar soldiers thought." He slammed his one remaining hand on the podium. "They are all dead now, every single one. Our empire, gone. Our planets, lost. Our people, scattered across the galaxy like dust." The young generals shifted in their seats. They were uncomfortable now. "You think your weapons are better than ours?" Zorath asked. "You think your ships are faster? You think you are smarter than we were?" He shook his head slowly. "It does not matter. Nothing matters against humans. They are not like us. They are not like any species in this galaxy. When you attack them, they do not surrender. They do not run. They do not beg for mercy." Zorath leaned forward. His voice dropped to a whisper. "They fight. They fight until they win or until they die. And even when they are dying, they find ways to take you with them." He straightened up and looked at every face in the hall. "Let me tell you what happened when we tried to conquer humanity. Let me tell you why you must never, ever make the same mistake." The old Vexar took a deep breath. His eyes became distant, lost in memories of fire and death and screaming. "It began 400 years ago, on a day when I still had both my arms, on a day when I still believed the Vexar could never lose. The mighty Vexar Empire. 400 years ago, the universe was a different place. The Vexar Empire was at its peak. Their home world was beautiful. Golden cities stretched across the planet. Flying ships filled the sky. Technology that other species could only dream about was normal for them. They had conquered 200 planets. They had enslaved billions of creatures. They had destroyed 15 species completely, erased them from existence. Not even bones remained. The galaxy feared the Vexar. When Vexar ships appeared in your sky, you had 2 choices: surrender and become a slave, or fight and become dust. Most species chose to surrender. Young General Zorath was the pride of the Empire. He was tall and strong. His silver armor shone like starlight. He had won 30 battles without a single defeat. The Emperor himself called Zorath his favorite warrior. Zorath was hungry for more glory, more victories, more power. One day, his scientists came to him with exciting news. "General, we have found a new planet. It is called Earth by its inhabitants." Zorath looked at the holographic image, a small blue planet, mostly water, one yellow sun, very far from other civilizations. "Tell me about these inhabitants," Zorath commanded. The scientist smiled. "They call themselves humans. They are weak, General. Soft bodies, no natural weapons, no claws, no armor. They cannot even survive in space without special suits." Zorath leaned forward with interest. "They have just started space travel," the scientist continued. "Very primitive. Their fastest ships are slower than our cargo vessels. And the best part? They fight among themselves constantly. Different nations, different leaders, no unity at all." Zorath laughed loudly. "This is perfect. A weak species with no unity? Conquering them will take maybe 1 week, perhaps less." He went to the Emperor with his proposal. The Emperor sat on his golden throne, ancient and powerful. He had ruled the Vexar for 300 years. "You want Earth?" the Emperor asked. "Yes, my Emperor. It will be an easy victory, a gift for your collection." The Emperor studied the information about Earth, about humans. He saw their wars, their conflicts, their primitive technology. "Very well, Zorath. Take 500 ships. Bring me this planet. Add these humans to our slaves." Zorath bowed deeply. "It will be done, my Emperor. In 1 week, Earth will belong to you." He turned and walked out of the throne room. His heart was filled with pride. Another easy conquest, another glorious victory. He did not notice the old advisor standing in the shadows. The advisor who had lived for 2,000 years. The advisor who whispered words that no one heard. There is something strange about those creatures. Something in their eyes. Be careful, young general. Be very careful. But Zorath was already gone. Already dreaming of victory. He did not know that he was walking toward the biggest mistake in galactic history. First contact. The Vexar fleet traveled through space for 3 months. 500 warships. Each ship was massive. Each ship carried weapons that could destroy a city in seconds. Each ship was filled with soldiers eager for battle. General Zorath stood on the command bridge of his flagship, the Destroyer of Worlds. He watched Earth grow larger in the viewing screen. Such a small planet, such a fragile-looking world. "General, we are entering Earth's solar system," his officer reported. "Good, send them our standard message." The message was simple, the same message the Vexar had sent to 200 planets before. "Inhabitants of Earth, the Vexar Empire claims your planet. You have 2 choices. Surrender now and serve us as slaves, or resist and be destroyed. You have 1 hour to decide." Zorath sat back in his chair. He had sent this message many times. The response was always the same: panic, fear, begging, surrender. He waited. 30 minutes passed. Then a response came from Earth, but it was not what Zorath expected. A human face appeared on screen, a man with grey hair and cold eyes. He wore a military uniform covered with medals. "This is General James Morrison of the United Earth Defense Council," the human said. "We have received your message." Zorath smiled. "Then you understand your situation. Surrender now, and we will be merciful." The human's expression did not change. "Let me make something clear to you, alien. We do not surrender. We do not kneel. We do not become slaves." Zorath's smile faded slightly. "You do not understand," he said. "We have 500 warships. We have weapons that can destroy your cities in seconds. You cannot win this fight." General Morrison leaned closer to the camera. Maybe we will lose, but I promise you this. If you attack us, we will hurt you. We will make you bleed, and you will never forget the price you paid for this planet." He paused. His eyes were like ice. "If you want Earth, come and take it. We will be waiting." The transmission ended. Zorath stared at the empty screen. For a moment, just a brief moment, he felt something strange, something he had not felt in decades. Doubt. But he pushed it away. These humans were bluffing. They had to be. No species had ever truly resisted the Vexar. "They are fools," Zorath declared. "All ships, prepare for attack. Target their largest city first. Show them what happens to those who defy us." The Vexar fleet moved into position. 500 ships surrounded Earth like a ring of death. "Fire!" Zorath commanded. Beams of energy shot down from the sky. A city called New York disappeared in fire and smoke. 2 million humans died in less than 60 seconds. Zorath watched the destruction with satisfaction. "Send another message. Tell them this is their last chance to surrender." He waited for their response. He expected crying, begging, pleading for mercy. Instead, he got silence. Complete silence. "General," his officer said nervously, "they are not responding." "What?" "No response at all. No communication. Nothing." Zorath frowned. This was strange. Every species panicked after the first attack. Every species begged for mercy after seeing their city burn. "Perhaps they are too scared to speak," another officer suggested. "Perhaps," Zorath said slowly. But something felt wrong. Something felt very wrong. Hours passed. Still no response from Earth. "General, our sensors are detecting something," the officer reported. "What is it?" "Movement. On the planet's surface. The humans are moving, organizing, but not to surrender points. They are moving to... we do not know where." Zorath stood up from his chair. "Show me." The screen displayed Earth from above. All across the planet, humans were moving. Vehicles, aircraft, ships, all moving with purpose, all moving with coordination. "This does not look like surrender," someone whispered. "No," Zorath agreed. "It does not." He stared at the screen for a long time. The doubt in his heart grew stronger. "What are you doing, humans?" he murmured. "What are you planning?" He would soon find out, and he would wish he had never asked. Humanity unites. Deep beneath the mountains of Switzerland, something incredible was happening. The leaders of every nation on Earth had gathered in a secret bunker. Americans, Russians, Chinese, Indians, Europeans, Africans, Arabs. Enemies who had fought each other for centuries now sat at the same table. The President of the United States stood at the front of the room. Her name was Sarah Chen. She was small, but her voice was strong. "They destroyed New York," she said. 2 million people, gone in seconds." The room was silent. Many leaders had tears in their eyes. "They want us to surrender. They want us to become slaves." President Chen's voice grew harder. "What do we say to that?" The Russian president stood up, a big man with a scarred face. "We say no. We fight." The Chinese premier nodded. "We stand together, all of us. One planet, one people, one fight." One by one, every leader in the room agreed. For the first time in human history, there were no nations, no borders, no enemies, only humanity, united against the stars. General Morrison stepped forward. He had spent 30 years preparing for this day, a day he hoped would never come, a day when Earth faced an enemy from beyond. "Listen carefully," he said. "We cannot beat them in a straight fight. Their technology is too advanced. Their weapons are too powerful." "Then what do we do?" someone asked. Morrison smiled. It was not a nice smile. "We cheat." He pressed a button. A holographic display appeared showing the Vexar fleet. "These aliens have one big weakness. They have never faced an enemy like us. They expect us to surrender or to fight fair. We will do neither." He pointed to different parts of the display. "First, we let them think they are winning. We act scared. We act weak. We let them become confident." "And then?" President Chen asked. "Then we show them what humans really are." General Morrison revealed their secret weapons, projects that Earth had been developing in secret for decades. just in case something like this ever happened. Project Blackout, a computer virus designed to destroy alien systems from inside. Project Hellfire, hidden weapons placed all around the world, underground, underwater, in mountains, everywhere. Project Phoenix, the real human fleet, hidden on the dark side of the moon, 2,000 ships built in secret over 20 years. The aliens think we just discovered space travel, Morrison explained. We let them think that. But the truth is different. We have been preparing for this moment for a long time. President Chen looked at the plans. Hope returned to her eyes. Can we win? Morrison paused before answering. Maybe, maybe not, but I promise you this, we will hurt them. We will hurt them so badly that they will never forget the name of our planet. They will tell stories about us for thousands of years. He looked at every face in the room. The question is not whether we can win. The question is, are we willing to pay the price? Because the price will be high, very high. The leaders looked at each other. They thought about their families, their children, their people. They thought about 2 million dead in New York. We pay the price, President Chen said quietly. Whatever it takes. The others nodded in agreement. Then let us begin, Morrison said. Let us teach these aliens a lesson they will never forget. The trap. 3 days passed. General Zorath was becoming impatient. The humans had sent a message. They wanted to negotiate. They said they would consider surrender if they could discuss terms. You see, Zorath told his officers, they are breaking. They understand now. Their courage was just an act. He agreed to send landing ships, 200 vessels carrying 50,000 soldiers. They would land in a place called the Great Plains and accept humanity's surrender. Be careful, General, his advisor warned. Something feels wrong. You worry too much. These humans are defeated. Look at them. They are offering to talk. Their spirit is broken. The landing ships descended through Earth's atmosphere. They flew over mountains and oceans and cities, still burning from the first attack. General Zorath watched from orbit. He was already planning the victory celebration. The landing ships reached the Great Plains, flat land stretching for miles in every direction. No place to hide, no place for tricks. Or so Zorath thought. The ships touched down. Soldiers poured out. They formed perfect lines, ready to accept surrender. Nothing happened. Where are the humans? A commander asked. They said they would be here. Minutes passed. Still nothing. Then a young soldier pointed at the sky. Commander, look! Black dots appeared on the horizon. Hundreds of them, thousands of them, human aircraft. What is this? The commander shouted. This is supposed to be a surrender. The aircraft came closer, closer. Zorath's soldiers could now see them clearly. Fighter jets, bombers, helicopters. Every aircraft humanity possessed was flying toward them. It is a trap, the commander realized. Everyone back to the ships, now! But it was too late. The human aircraft attacked, not with fancy weapons, not with advanced technology, with guns, with missiles, with bombs, and with something else, something the Vexar had never seen before. Human pilots flew their aircraft directly into Vexar ships, on purpose, crashing into engines, into weapon systems, into command bridges. They were killing themselves to destroy the enemy. Zorath watched in horror from orbit. What are they doing? He whispered. They are suicide attacking? General, an officer shouted. We are losing ships. The humans are crashing into them. But why? Why would they do this? No species in galactic history had used such tactics. No species was crazy enough to sacrifice themselves so willingly. But humans were different. The battle lasted 4 hours. When it ended, 180 Vexar landing ships were destroyed. 50,000 Vexar soldiers were dead. And the humans? They had lost 10,000 pilots. 10,000 men and women who had volunteered to fly into enemy ships, who had kissed their families goodbye, knowing they would never return. Zorath stared at the burning wreckage on his screen. What kind of creatures are these? he asked. His voice was shaking. "General," his officer said quietly, "the humans are sending another message." "Play it." General Morrison appeared on screen. His face was hard as stone. "That was just a taste. Do you want more? We have plenty more pilots willing to die. The question is, how many soldiers are you willing to lose?" The transmission ended. Zorath said nothing for a long time. The doubt in his heart had grown into something else, fear. The virus. While the battle raged on Earth's surface, something invisible was happening in space. Inside every Vexar ship, something was spreading, moving through computer systems like a disease, hiding in code, waiting. On Earth, in a dark room filled with computer screens, a young woman smiled. Her name was Maya Singh. She was the best hacker in human history, and she had just uploaded Project Blackout into the Vexar fleet. "They never saw it coming," she whispered. "Their security systems are advanced but not perfect. There is always a door if you look hard enough." Her team watched as the virus spread, ship to ship, system to system. "How long until it activates?" someone asked. 4 hours. We need to give it time to reach every ship in their fleet, and then—" She pressed a button. "Then we turn off their lights." 4 hours later, General Zorath was in a meeting with his officers. They were discussing what to do next. The battle on the surface had shaken them. Suddenly, the lights flickered. "What was that?" Zorath demanded. Before anyone could answer, alarms started screaming throughout the ship. "General, our systems are failing!" "What do you mean, failing?" "Everything, navigation, weapons, life support. Something is attacking us from inside." Zorath ran to the command bridge. Red warning lights flashed everywhere. Officers were running in panic. "Show me what is happening." The main screen displayed the fleet. Ship after ship was going dark, weapons going offline, engines stopping, shields failing. "It is in every ship!" someone screamed. "Every single one!" Zorath felt his blood turn cold. "A virus! They infected us with a virus! How is that possible? Our technology is thousands of years ahead of theirs." His chief engineer was frantically working at a console. "General, this virus, it is brilliant. It is so simple that our systems do not recognize it as an attack. It is hiding inside our own code. Every time we try to remove it, it moves somewhere else. Can you stop it?" The engineer looked at him with fear in his eyes. "I do not know. I have never seen anything like this. It is not just destroying systems. It is learning, getting smarter, adapting." Zorath grabbed the engineer by his collar. "Fix it, now!" But the virus was already too deep, too spread out, too clever. On Earth, Maya Singh watched the chaos with satisfaction. "This is what happens when you underestimate humans," she said softly. "We may not have the best weapons, we may not have the biggest ships, but we have something better." She tapped her forehead. "We have brains that never stop thinking, never stop creating, never stop finding ways to win." The first retreat. The Vexar fleet was dying. Ships drifted without power. Life support systems failed. Soldiers died in the cold darkness of space. General Zorath stood on his command bridge. Around him, his officers worked desperately to keep the flagship alive. "Status report," he demanded. "We have lost 200 ships to the virus, General. Another 100 are badly damaged. Many are reporting life support failures." "And our weapons?" 60% of our weapons are offline." Zorath looked at the blue planet below. Such a small world, such a weak-looking species, but they had hurt him badly. "General," his advisor said carefully, "we must consider retreat." "Retreat?" Zorath shouted. "A Vexar general does not retreat. We have never retreated in 10,000 years. If we stay, we will lose more ships, more soldiers. The virus is still spreading, and the humans, they are still fighting." Zorath looked at the sensor display. Even now, even after losing thousands of pilots, human aircraft were launching from the surface, ready to attack again. They should be broken, he whispered. We destroyed their cities. We killed millions. Why are they still fighting? No one had an answer. Hours passed. The situation grew worse. More ships failed, more soldiers died. Finally, Zorath made a decision that broke his heart. All ships, retreat, fall back to the edge of their solar system. His officers stared at him in shock. But General, I know what I am doing, Zorath's voice cracked. We retreat now, we repair our ships, we call for reinforcements, and then we return with everything, everything. His hands were shaking as he gave the order. This is not over, humans. I will come back. I will come back with our entire military, every ship, every soldier, every weapon, and I will burn your planet to ashes. I will destroy every trace of your species. You will not even be a memory. The Vexar fleet limped away from Earth, broken, humiliated, defeated. On Earth, humans watched them go. There was no celebration. Too many had died. Too many cities had burned. But there was something else, something in their eyes, pride. They had faced the most powerful empire in the galaxy, and they had made it bleed. General Morrison looked at the retreating enemy fleet. They will be back, he said, and when they return, they will bring everything. President Chen nodded. Then we need to be ready. We will be. We have 1 year, maybe 2, enough time to prepare. He turned to his officers. Start Project Phoenix Phase 2. Build more ships, more weapons, more defenses. Call every scientist, every engineer, every soldier. We are going to need all of them. And if it is not enough? Someone asked. Morrison smiled grimly. Then we make them pay such a price that no species will ever attack Earth again. We make the cost of victory so high that it becomes defeat. He looked at the stars. Somewhere out there, the Vexar were planning their revenge. Come back anytime you want, aliens. We will be waiting. The return 1 year passed. General Zorath stood before the Emperor. He had spent 12 months planning, 12 months building, 12 months preparing. I need everything, he told the Emperor. Every ship in our fleet, every soldier in our army, every weapon in our arsenal. The Emperor studied him with cold eyes. You failed once. Why should I trust you again? Zorath fell to his knees. I underestimated them, my Emperor. I made a mistake, but now I know what they are. Now I know how to destroy them. And what are they? Zorath paused, finding the right words. They are dangerous, more dangerous than any species we have ever faced. But they can still be beaten, with enough force, enough power, enough destruction. The Emperor thought for a long time. Very well, you will have everything. 10,000 warships, 50 million soldiers, the entire military might of the Vexar Empire. He leaned forward on his throne. But hear me, Zorath, if you fail again, do not bother returning. You will be better off dying with your soldiers. I will not fail, my Emperor. In 1 month, humanity will be extinct. Zorath left the throne room with fire in his heart. Revenge. He wanted revenge. He dreamed of watching Earth burn every night, soon, very soon. 1 month later, the largest fleet in galactic history approached Earth. 10,000 warships, each one massive, each one filled with weapons, each one carrying soldiers hungry for revenge. General Zorath stood on his new flagship, bigger, stronger, better protected against human viruses. This time there will be no mistakes, he announced to his commanders. No negotiations, no landing parties. We burn the planet from orbit. We destroy every city, every base, every place where humans might hide. We turn Earth into a dead rock. His commanders nodded. They had all heard stories about the first battle, about human pilots flying into ships, about the virus that killed thousands. This time they were ready. Begin approach, Zorath commanded. The fleet moved toward Earth. Slowly, carefully, every sensor scanning for traps. General, something is different, an officer reported. What? The planet. There are new structures on the surface, large towers, thousands of them. Zorath looked at the screen. He saw the towers, massive metal structures pointing at the sky. What are they? Unknown, General. They were not there 1 year ago. Zorath felt a chill run down his spine, but he pushed it away. It does not matter. Nothing can stop 10,000 warships. All ships, prepare to fire. Target the major cities first. The Vexar fleet surrounded Earth, a ring of death ready to fall. On my command, Zorath said. Fire! 10,000 ships fired at once. Energy beams rained down on Earth like a storm. Cities exploded, mountains shattered, oceans boiled. Millions of humans died in minutes. Zorath watched with savage joy. Yes, yes, burn, you monsters, burn! Then the towers activated. Zorath did not understand what he was seeing at first. Light shot up from Earth's surface, thousands of beams, all aimed at his fleet. What is that? The beams hit his ships. Explosions everywhere. Vexar warships broke apart. Soldiers died screaming. Impossible, Zorath shouted. A planet cannot fight a fleet. But Earth was no longer just a planet. For 1 year, humans had worked, day and night, without rest, building, creating, preparing. Those towers were weapons, giant energy cannons powered by Earth itself, every tower connected, every weapon working together. A planet turned into a fortress. General, we have lost 300 ships, an officer screamed. Return fire, destroy those towers. The Vexar focused their weapons on the surface. Many towers exploded. But there were thousands, too many to destroy quickly, and then something worse happened. General, ships appearing behind us! Zorath spun around. His blood froze. Human warships, thousands of them, appearing from behind the moon, from behind Mars, from places the Vexar never thought to look. The humans had built a fleet in secret, using stolen Vexar technology, improved, modified, made deadly. No, this cannot be happening. But it was happening. The human fleet attacked from behind, while Earth attacked from below. The Vexar were trapped, surrounded, dying. The virus returns. As if the battle was not bad enough, something else awakened. Deep inside every Vexar ship, the virus returned. But this was not the same virus from before. This was something new, something worse. Project Blackout 2.0. Maya Singh had spent 1 year improving it, making it smarter, faster, deadlier. Miss me, she whispered as she activated it. The new virus did not just disable systems, it took control. Vexar ships started firing at each other. Navigation systems sent ships crashing into asteroids. Life support turned off in random sections. And the virus learned. Every time the Vexar tried to stop it, it adapted, changed, evolved. General, an engineer screamed, the virus is in our system. It is making our ships kill each other. Zorath watched his fleet tear itself apart. Ships he had commanded for decades now fought against him. Switched to manual control. We cannot. The virus has locked us out. The command bridge shook as something exploded nearby. General, we have lost 4,000 ships. The humans are still attacking. The virus is still spreading. We cannot win this battle. Zorath stood frozen. Around him everything was falling apart. His fleet, his plans, his dreams of revenge. What do I do? He whispered. What do I do? There was no answer. Only the screams of dying soldiers and the explosions of dying ships. The massacre. The battle lasted 8 hours. When it ended, the Vexar fleet was destroyed. 10,000 ships reduced to 900. 50 million soldiers reduced to 3 million. The greatest military in the galaxy, broken beyond repair. General Zorath sat alone in an escape pod. His flagship had exploded. His officers were dead. Everything he had built was gone. Through the small window, he watched the remains of his fleet, burning wreckage floating in space, bodies drifting without purpose. How? He whispered. How did this happen? A human ship found his pod. Soldiers brought him aboard. He expected death. He wanted death. Instead, they brought him to their captain, Captain James Morrison, Jr., son of the general who had given the first warning. His father had died in the first attack, but his son had taken his place. "General Zorath," the captain said, "we finally meet." Zorath looked at this human, so small, so fragile-looking, and yet so dangerous. "Kill me," Zorath said. "I have nothing left." The captain shook his head. "We are not going to kill you. That would be too easy." "Then what do you want?" Captain Morrison smiled. It was not a kind smile. "We want you to live. We want you to go back to your emperor. We want you to tell him exactly what happened here, every detail." He leaned closer. "We want you to tell every species in the galaxy what happens when you attack Earth. We want your story to spread. We want every alien civilization to know if you come to our planet with war, you will leave with ashes." He handed Zorath a data chip. "This contains recordings of everything, the battle, the destruction of your fleet, the death of your soldiers. Show it to everyone. Make sure they understand." Zorath took the chip with trembling hands. "Why? Why are you doing this?" Morrison's eyes grew hard. "Because we are tired of being attacked. We are tired of being seen as weak. We want peace. We want to explore the universe and make friends. But if anyone threatens us, we want them to know exactly what they are facing." He pointed at the window, at the floating wreckage of the Vexar fleet. "That is what they are facing. Remember that. Make sure the galaxy remembers it too." The fall of an empire, Zorath returned to the Vexar homeworld alone. He stood before the Emperor and played the recording. The throne room was silent as they watched the destruction, the death, the absolute defeat. When it ended, the Emperor said nothing for a long time. "You lost everything," he finally whispered. "Our entire military, gone, because of one small planet." "My Emperor, Silence!" The Emperor stood from his throne. His ancient body was shaking with rage. "You have destroyed us, Zorath. Do you understand? Without our military, we cannot hold our empire. Our conquered planets will rebel. Our enemies will attack. Everything we built for 10,000 years, gone." He was right. Within 1 month, the conquered planets rose up. Without Vexar warships to stop them, they fought for freedom. Within 6 months, enemy empires attacked. The Zorthax, the Morellians, the Keth. All the species the Vexar had bullied for centuries now saw their chance. Within 1 year, the Vexar Empire collapsed completely. 200 planets lost. The homeworld itself was attacked and burned. Zorath watched it all happen. Watched everything he knew destroyed. His family, his friends, his entire civilization. All because he had attacked a small blue planet called Earth. Returned to the present, old Zorath finished his story. The council chamber was completely silent. 10,000 aliens stared at him with wide eyes. "You understand now?" Zorath asked. "You see why I beg?" He gestured to his scarred body, his missing arm, his broken spirit. "I am all that remains of a 10,000-year-old empire. I survived because the humans wanted me to survive. They wanted a messenger, someone to warn others." He pointed at the young generals who wanted to attack Earth. "You think you can succeed where I failed? You think your ships are better? Your weapons stronger?" He laughed bitterly. "It does not matter. Nothing matters against humans. I brought 10,000 ships, the largest fleet in history, and they destroyed us all." He walked slowly toward the young generals. "Let me tell you something about humans, something I learned too late." He grabbed one general by his collar. "They do not fight like us. When we lose, we surrender. When we are hurt, we retreat. We are logical, we are smart." He released the general. "Humans are not logical. When they lose, they fight harder. When they are hurt, they become angry. You can burn their cities, kill their families, take everything from them." His voice dropped to a whisper. "And they will still fight. They will fight with sticks and stones. They will sacrifice their own lives just to hurt you. They will burn themselves alive if it means taking one enemy with them. He stepped back and looked at the entire council. That small blue planet, it is not a target. It is a trap that has already destroyed one empire. He pointed at himself. I am the proof. I am the warning. If you attack Earth, your empire will be next. The young generals looked at each other. They looked at their war plans. They looked at Zorath's scars. Slowly, one by one, they put their plans away. Perhaps, one said quietly, we should find another planet. Zorath nodded slowly, his old eyes filled with tears of relief. A wise choice, the wisest you will ever make. The council meeting ended. The young generals returned to their ships. Their plans for attacking Earth were destroyed. Old Zorath walked out of the great hall. He stood on a balcony and looked at the stars. Somewhere out there, beyond countless light years, Earth spun quietly around its yellow sun. Humans went about their lives, working, playing, loving, laughing. They did not know that they were feared across the universe. They did not know that their name was spoken in whispers. They did not know that Zorath still dreamed about them every night. Perhaps that was the most terrifying thing of all. Humans did not know how dangerous they were, and if they ever discovered it, if they ever decided to become conquerors instead of defenders. Zorath shuddered at the thought. May the universe have mercy, he whispered to the stars, because if humanity ever comes for us. He touched his scars, remembered the fire, the screams, the death. If humanity ever comes for us, we are all doomed. Far away on a small blue planet, a child looked up at the night sky. She pointed at the stars and asked her mother a question. "Mommy, do you think there is anyone out there?" Her mother smiled and hugged her close. "Maybe, sweetheart. Maybe one day we will meet them." The child smiled back. "I hope they are friendly." Her mother laughed softly. "I hope so too, baby. I hope so too." Above them, the stars twinkled silently, keeping their secrets, keeping their fears. And across the galaxy, in 1,000 different languages, species told stories about the small blue planet, the world that destroyed empires, the species that never surrendered, the humans